Hello and welcome to RachAquarelle. And today I'm doing the second day in my watercolor sketch journal, and I'm actually going to redo the cupcake that I painted for myself yesterday because I was up all night thinking of how I should have painted this. And so I was literally painting it in my head over and over and over all night. I almost got up and just did it last night, but I made myself go to sleep eventually. And I woke up today, made myself some hot cocoa, and I'm gonna repaint this, and it turned out so much better. I really try not to be a big perfectionist, and sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between when I'm being a perfectionist and when I'm just, improving. And I gotta say, in this case, I think that it was just a matter of improving. And it's kind of funny because in my first video where I sketched this cupcake for the first time, I was talking a little bit, I think, about this concept of painting against the light. And I was also talking about how I was struggling to paint a carrot cake cupcake because they usually have white frosting, and so I ended up with frosting that looked orange because I have, of course, white paper, and how do you paint white frosting on white paper? And then, whatever. So obviously, to resolve that issue, all I needed to do was add a really dark background, and having a dark background is going to make this flame look pretty amazing, I have to admit. So yeah, this is just going to be a quick, fun video. I'm repainting this cupcake, and I'm also starting to think about a little series that I'm planning to do. So the surprising thing about this channel that I've started is that I've kind of struggled with the direction of the channel, not quite knowing exactly what I wanted to do, other than obviously I wanted it to be about ink and watercolor. I wanted to have tutorials, but I didn't know, at first I thought, this would just be kind of a repository for videos that I make for the classes that I teach in person. And then I thought maybe I'll do some ASMR videos with art. And what's kind of surprising to me is that over the last couple of weeks, one of my videos has become way more popular than any of the other videos. And it's a video where I'm painting Christmas cards. And I had actually made that video for a class that I was teaching in person. And the reason that I made the video the way I did is because I was teaching a workshop, and the workshop was just over a weekend, so it was a Saturday and Sunday, and it was only 2 hours each day, and it was about making cards and gifts with watercolor. And what I've found when teaching in person is that, of course, I like to do demonstrations for my students, but I either have to really rush through those demonstrations so that they have plenty of time to work, or if I take my time, then we spend so much time doing demonstrations that there just isn't enough time for the students to actually work on their own projects. And so I had made a video of myself working on lots of different projects, lots of cards and gifts and things like that, and then I sped up the videos. And when I played those for my students, it allowed them to kind of get an overview of my entire process in a shorter amount of time. And we could, rewind it to parts that they needed to see again. They could get a little bit better view of what I was doing. So that's why I made that video and several other of my very, very early videos on this channel. And so that particular video of making Christmas cards has gotten a lot of views, which was really surprising and awesome. Really never expected that to happen at all. But one of the most common comments that I'm getting on that video is that it's just too fast. So I've decided that I'm going to do something fun since Christmas is actually coming up right now. I am going to do a series where I paint some Christmas-related watercolor, whether it's a card or, just scenery or whatever. And, if you guys have any suggestions or things that you would like to see me do, please comment them on this video or literally any of my videos, because I do read all of the comments and I really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to go from the day after Thanksgiving all the way to Christmas, where I do some kind of Christmas related watercolor painting every single day. And those are all going to be in real time. They're going to be narrated. And let me know what you guys think of music in the background, because sometimes I put music in the background of my videos and talk over the music. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I'm totally willing just to nix doing that, because to be quite honest, when I do that, it's because my dogs are in the background snoring, and I'm like, well, maybe if I have a little bit of music, the snoring won't be so obvious. You guys probably will notice in my videos where there is no music that every once in a while you get like a snore, or who knows what it actually sounds like to you. I shudder to think. So let me know what you guys think about that and what you would like to see. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. And it's so helpful just to kind of see how people react to the videos that I've made so far, because I've made lots of different kinds of videos. And that helps so much, just kind of give me a sense of direction with this channel, because I really like making these videos. I'm getting a lot more used to working, knowing that there's a camera on me, getting a little bit better about, being comfortable doing voiceovers, because I'm actually a pretty introverted person. I don't do a lot of talking. I don't listen to myself talk a lot. So it's been an adjustment, but I'm finding that it's becoming easier for me and I'm really enjoying it. So with that said, let's get back to what I'm doing with this painting. So as you can see, I've given myself a really nice dark background. I actually just, when I started this painting, I painted the flame at first, and then I wanted the flame to kind of dissipate into the dark background. So I used a wet on wet technique to achieve that with this initial wash. And then instead of like drawing out this cupcake in any way, all I did was I kind of did negative painting. So I painted all the way around where I wanted the frosting to be. And I also let some of that background begin to merge into the cupcake where there's a little bit more shadow. And then another thing that I was kind of obsessively thinking about last night when I was painting this in my mind was that this was such a great opportunity to have lots of lost edges. So I'm achieving that by allowing some of that background to kind of merge into the cupcake where there's shadows, and then also where the candlestick is. So I tried to make the candlestick a little bit more solid toward the base where it's sticking into the cupcake. And then as it overlaps the background, I wanted it to dissipate just a little bit more so it's become somewhat of a lost edge. And I let some red kind of bleed down into the candlestick to show some of that candle glow on the stick. And then I was able to actually paint the little carrot decoration on top of the cupcake, even with this limited palette. So now that I'm able to paint white frosting, which, I think yesterday it was just a really busy day. It was my birthday. I was working on commissions all day long because this is the busy time of year for artists who do commissions. I get, probably 80% of all my commissions during this time of year. So I kind of spent most of my birthday just working on various commissions. And then, of course, I wanted to see my family. So I had done that painting in a hurry and didn't really have time to even mentally plan how I was going to approach it. And I just wasn't really happy with how it turned out. So I'm doing a lot of glazing with this very limited palette to achieve some of the more nuanced colors. For example, I'm letting things dry a little bit right now. And you can see I just touched it to make sure it was dry so I could apply this glaze of red on top of the yellow so that I could get the orange for the carrot. And I know it's really hard to see, but I used the Payne's gray and then I glazed it with yellow to get a little bit of green in the top of the carrot. I know it's not super obvious from this angle, and it's a very subtle effect because Payne's gray and yellow does kind of create a green, but it's not like a super bright green. And that's really it. I think I actually spent less time painting this one than the first cupcake that I wasn't very happy with. And now I'm just gonna clean up because that's very important to me. I like to keep my palette really clean and just sort of pack everything up so that the next time I sit down to paint, everything is kind of a little bit more welcoming than if I just left it a mess. So that's just my personal philosophy about cleaning up every time I paint, even if it's just a little sketch like this. So anyway, that is all for this little sketch journal video. And again, please let me know what you guys would like to see. If you have any particular ideas or techniques or, really any comments about what you would like to see me do on this channel, I'm totally open to that, and I seriously appreciate it so much. I really hope that you have a great day today and that you get to make a little time to do art, whether it's over the holidays coming up or just in general. I think it's important just to take a little time out for yourself. I know we all work really hard and we deserve to take a little time and explore our creativity. All right, well, take care and I will talk to you again soon.